So today is day 3 of the collage challenge, and it is a day in which I do not like what I created at all. However, I set the timer 1 hour and I stuck to it, which I think caused a new challenge. I didn't really like limiting myself to that time. But I also learned through this, as you're going to watch, there were multiple opportunities where I should have maybe just stopped. And it was probably about 15 minutes at one point where I liked this, and then another at about, I don't know, I would say it was probably like a half an hour in. So I had pulled some papers that were out from the other day and just set them aside because I wanted to try something that was um, like monochromatic, so that I could do some bright colors over them later. And I had laid down some graphite stick there, very water soluble media that I then wetted down, hoping to not pull a lot of that graphite through. This is some black tissue paper, which really was kind of fussy. Every time I took the collage medium over that, it sort of wanted to tear. And then I have a variety of different brown tissue papers, and some of them, they have really fine lines in them, which you can't quite see, but couldn't see after I was done. And then this is a pattern that I had gotten in an estate sale. I believe they're for dolls, so they look really tiny. I'm going to put another piece in the bottom left corner eventually, where I think they're like sleeves and they look super tiny, but they're for a little doll. But I love the line work on the pattern material, and then I also really like the color of the tissue paper. This is some handmade marks on a book page that I'm just some circles that I'm gluing down. In general, I was struggling with this today. I think I liked some of the shapes, like this piece in particular, I was very fond of, and I was very fond of how it laid adjacent to the other pieces. Um, but I truly struggled with this, and I was just trying to keep moving because working your way through and not quitting is sometimes a good way to flex some creativity muscles to see what could happen. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. And today it, in my opinion, didn't. But I kept moving my way through. And I think right about here, I could have stopped. Maybe finish that top right corner. But that top right corner is sort of where things go off the rails, because these two pieces here started to remind me of a mountain range. And then I felt the need to explore that with black tissue paper. I thought maybe I could get that to build up, and it really didn't work out so hot. You're going to notice that some of the things I put down eventually get themselves covered up. Some of them, I don't know, like I just kept working. Here's me trying that mountain range. This is a piece of paper from a garbage bag with some circles. I really love that. You're going to see me put it down and then tear it off. And yeah, it just didn't, today just didn't work out. So here's that mountain range. I'm trying to do it with black on black, thinking you'd see it, but that paper was so fine that it didn't work. So then I laid and alternated brown and black tissues. And that's all going to get covered up eventually anyway. My tissue paper did not like playing. And it's a very soft bristle brush. I obviously moved the book out of the camera view at the bottom, but it'll come back to view in a bit. So here's another time where once this black piece is down, I probably could have stopped. But I kept going because I still had time on my timer. Um, it's interesting what I'm learning about time limit. Today I wanted it to be a limit. And quite frankly, it could have been so here that piece goes down and I'll pull it up in short order. What could have been a limit, um, I actually could have stopped a lot sooner. And maybe that's what I should have done. I should have stopped and done a series of them in the hour that I had allotted myself time for. I guess I didn't need to work on one piece that whole time. That wasn't the rule. And I had already broken a ton of rules this week by taking some of them to be like 2.5 hours long. But regardless, lesson learned. So at this point, I'm done gluing things down. And I'm going to start adding some color to it. Again, I probably could have just stopped right there, but I was feeling some fluorescence. And I'll pull out some ink, I'll pull out some stencils, and I'll pull out some texture paste. And it sort of just goes right off the rails. I used a lot of collage media that took forever to dry, so that timeline and the amount of product I used was probably not conducive to what I was trying to do. You'll see it give me some pain. I probably should have just stopped there. What was I thinking? So here I'm going to mix some ink with a soft, fine brush through a stencil, and I absolutely love that stencil. But I didn't take enough of the ink off of the brush, and I am doing 3 of these across the page, and the last one turned out the best. So, but again, most of this is all going to get covered up as I work through adhering to 1 hour of exploration on one piece. I was trying to move that around because I think it was water soluble ink, but it turns out it wasn't. I was trying to maybe pick it up because I didn't like it. I didn't have any orange ink, so I mixed some for myself. And I wanted to do a large circular orange outlined in this beautiful black acrylic marker. But again, the page was super wet, so that didn't really work as smooth as it could have. And now I'm using this big stencil and some texture paste. So this is a thick media that gives like a raised texture to the page. I've had it for a number of years and I've never used it, so I thought it would be fun to play with it. Mixing orange. I had an orange one, but it wasn't the right orange. So I mixed my own with the 2 fluorescents and put it through this black swath on this side. Again, that orange was important to match the other orange that I had just mixed. But yeah, I don't really know what I was doing. Removing some of the pieces because they're a little hard to control with a putty knife that large, so I'm gonna have to get myself actually I don't have to get it. I know I have one. I just need to find it. And then I have these yellows through a smaller, finer, just to add some texture in the center. And then I found some elements I had made in the past. So these are some tags I had made when I was on a fluorescent kick a while back. That's a really nice Kozo paper there that I love to use. It's got like voids in it, and it lays down really beautifully. And I thought some white would help break the page up. And so the tags I'm going to attach and that are kind of a nice break in the browns and blacks. And I did a number on the black actually with the pinks and the oranges. Now that I'm watching this, I can see that the black sort of gotten hidden. Um, so those tags have some other collaged materials I did a while back. And I just thought, why not add them here? And maybe I'll add some words to them. That just about as I'm putting that last sticker on, I ran out of time. And that was the end of the experiment for the day. You can see the final piece here, and I think it's fun, maybe.